So this is essentially inbound interest. You're not looking for the sale, but you've created a community and you've created this opportunity. So they're approaching you. Did you hire investment bankers, lawyers? Like, can you talk to me about how you constructed actually taking this transaction down, getting it done?
We had a relationship with a law firm that we use for all of our individual affiliations, and we continue to maintain that relationship through this transaction.
Yep.
From a investment banking perspective, we did not hire outside counsel there, like an outside firm to help with the transaction. We had the the multiples that you see in the space; those are pretty well. I guess those are disseminated a lot, and you can see those at industry shows and things of that nature. And because we weren't out shopping,
Mm-hmm.
it was, this is what we need, and then let's go from that versus, hey, we're out trying to drum up interest and see what the business is worth. It was, hey, we feel we're worth this, and this is what it would take to transact, because our alternative was just to continue to build.
Yep. Yep.
We had capital, we had the debt facility in place, and we had a pipeline, we had a team.
And you got through the
And
storm.
so exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Like, and the so we came out, like, it's always about not losing an appendage or quote unquote bleeding out. And so yes, came out of COVID, battered and beaten, but survived, to your point. And so that was our alternative. So it was really around, hey, here's a valuation that makes sense for shareholders of True and shareholders of Heartland, and does that make sense for both entities? And ultimately, we came to agreement that yes, it did, but that did not have someone shepherding us through the process. Now, hey, to be fair though,
Yeah.
both my partner and I worked in investment banking and worked in private equity, and then we had our law firm. They were a seasoned firm that works with M&A.
Yep.
And they work with a lot of financial sponsors, private equity funds. So the team that was the team that helped build or helped seal the transaction, very familiar with all of the inner workings. And so I wouldn't. It's always great to have advisors that are gonna, if you don't know something, like if you're at the poker table and you can't find the dummy, so to speak, then you better leave, because it's you.
Yeah.
So and then another part is, like, look, as an entrepreneur, you don't do a lot of these in terms of selling your business.
Right.
And better be sure that you do everything you can, and do it well, because you don't get a lot of shots on goal. So if in doubt, providers are a very, very welcome resource to be able to do something that you don't do all the time and do it really well.
So I love hearing the stories of people that have been able to essentially do it on their own with a little bit of kind of outside counsel, because founders are always asking me, hey, could I sell my business on my own? And I'm really vehemently against that if you're looking to maximize your outcome and write a real process. So the entrepreneurs that we talk to that have done it on their own, there's always something there, which is you and your partner were both investment bankers in your past. You've worked in private equity. And I think one of the critical things is you'd built a relationship with an M&A firm buying companies. So they're really familiar with the space. They're really familiar with your industry, and they're very familiar with M&A in general, and are going to be very efficient in creating the outcome and protecting their clients. So as I will still tell entrepreneurs, you don't want to do this on your own. Like you said, you get very few shots on goal. You have to make this one count, and advisors will help, and they will pay for themselves many times over. In your case, I can understand why the team that you had was really already part of your team. So that's great. That's great to hear.